13th of December, a selected group of cities gathered in Utrecht to discuss about human rights on the local level. The aim of the work conference was to bring together participants from municipalities, science and NGOs currently engaged in human rights in the city, to discuss and share best practices and knowledge. Among the participants were experts from cities like Vienna, Salzburg, Barcelona, Gothenburg, Utrecht, Graz, Chemnitz and Karlsruhe. The cities present all have formulated a human rights approach. The city of Utrecht, for example, got the title First Human Rights City in the Netherlands from Mrs. Pile, UN Commissioner for Human Rights, during the opening of the National Human Rights Institute in Utrecht in 2012. How can cooperation between European municipalities enhance the enforcement of human rights? Why is a network connecting cities so important?
I would say that there is a real added value to being a human rights city. Human rights are a universal framework. It's about universal values shared by people from all over the world and also all corners of a city. And invoking that framework to thinking about local policies makes, on the one hand, that you can unite all these very different groups to work together. But it also provides a standard against which to test all these different policies that also makes sure that whatever policies you come up with, they're about equal opportunities, they're about social justice, they're about human dignity. So I would say there's most definitely an added value to referring to human rights at the local level.
So the cooperation between European cities can help to shows that human rights are on the agenda of many cities around Europe or around the world, and so they can like peer-to-peer exchanges and lobby together, put pressure, showing that it's an important issue for everyone anywhere.
Well, in this field there's a lot of doubling work, so we have not to reinvent the wheel. We have to learn from experiences of other cities, of other actors, what is going on already, and to learn from each other.
What can you contribute to a European Human Rights in the City network?
I think what Gothenburg can contribute to this network is that we have a special responsibility for human rights at the political level. We have a special political portfolio, and I think that has made all the difference when it comes to working structurally with human rights in Gothenburg. So perhaps we can compare our work on that.
My contribution as an academic could be most of all and particularly focused on implementation and outcome of these policies of local human rights work.
Our contribution to the European Cities Network could be just speaking about our experiences, and I'm sure each city has experiences in one field or more fields.
It was an excellent opportunity to link up with like-minded cities around Europe, strengthen each other's efforts in making human rights happen at the local level, and to build an international network around local human rights. Different themes were discussed in work sessions. For example, the role of arts and culture in awareness raising. What are the questions this network will have to focus on in the coming years?
I would wish that in the coming years our meetings get more structured, that we have sustainable relationships between our cities, and of course that we learn from each other for the best of our own communities.
I see the prime questions we have to focus on is an effective organization at the local level to realize human rights, but also the monitoring part, I think, because human rights doesn't matter if you're not being able to claim them. I mean, it's one thing of writing about them, but it's another way of guaranteeing that they're actually happening in your city.
Which kind of language should we choose? Which kind of pictures should we choose to reach the heart and the head and the heart of the persons?
And also filling a kind of coalition of the willing to form a lobby that human rights should be implemented and be a consistent element of the work of urban administration. This is much needed.
And how we can all implement these human rights on a local level? How can we ensure that people understand what their role is within the ensuring of human rights? And then I'm talking about civil servants, but also civil society.
To me, the main questions that this network will have to focus on the coming years are about how to tell the story of human rights and how to make this story a reality at the local level.
The conference has shown that there is a movement of human rights cities who have a lot in common. A common base was formed for forming a growing European network where experiences and best practices can be shared and new initiatives can be developed.